and welcome back to my video. I really want to dedicate this video to something that's really important. I want to actually talk about bad techniques versus good techniques. And I know people are like, oh, you should play however you want. And the thing about, our style of playing, I mean, people have different styles of playing, but the reason why technique is really important is because at the end of the day, it gives you more flexibility in terms of speed, finger independence, hand mobility, and there are actually certain ways that you play that actually cripple you, and actually pretty bad for your hands too, that you really want to kind of avoid in finding your style of playing and whatever it is. So I'm going to show you a couple of techniques that you really want to watch out for. I'm just making sure that you can see in the actual video. So one technique that you want to watch out for is what I like to call flat fingers. Some people like to play like this. You see how my fingers are completely flat? Be very careful with that, because if you think about it, and people think that it doesn't really take muscle to flatten your fingers and reach the notes and things like that. But if you really think about it, if you were to put your hand like this, right? If you were to completely put your hand in rest mode, would it be easier to have your hand like this, or would it feel like more work to do your hands like this? I'm pretty sure that doing it this way would feel a lot better. And the idea, besides my theme of slowing down, is to keep your fingers relaxed. So your fingers will be a lot more relaxed this way, if your fingers are kind of just curved, because that's just how they're naturally set up, is to be curved anyway, than to do it this way. This actually takes more work, even though it may not feel like it, but physically it does take more work to do this than it does to just do this. Now, when you're reversing, if you already have a bad habit of kind of playing like this, it's going to feel weird when you're, doing it, the curved fingers, the relaxed fingers way. But then when you get the hang of it, you're like, wow, you really do feel the difference in terms of just how much more control you have over playing when you kind of keep your fingers curved like this, than to kind of keep them flat. Another one, which I was previously guilty of doing, is what I like to call bent fingers or bent knuckles. You see this? You see how I have my hands like this? You really want to watch out for that one. Do not do that. Do not do that. Because really, at the end of the day, first of all, it's really kind of bad for your knuckles anyway. But when you're doing, and it's the same idea. You're using more muscle to do this than you would to do this. Because really, besides the fact that your fingers are naturally curved, when you're playing this way, you're actually getting more support from the gravity that you would need to play versus muscle than you would get if you were to play like this. So definitely watch out for that. And the other thing that you need to watch out for is what I like to call flying fingers. I might have mentioned that in some other previous video. When you're playing, you don't want like your other hands to be like this. You want to watch out for that too. And actually, I think my previous video had talked about keeping your fingers as rested as possible, and that will take time. I know that relaxation in terms of piano seems to be very counterintuitive. That's the word I'm looking for, because now you're kind of working against what your brain wants you to do. So it may feel like you're actually doing the opposite of what you're supposed to do. But then once you really build a habit of it, because these things really do take time. When you're especially with the independent finger exercise, that might take a while for you to kind of get really used to. So don't beat yourself up if it doesn't happen like on the first day. And even like the idea of the curved fingers, if you've been doing it differently for a while, it's going to take some time. It's going to take a lot of focus for you to get into the curved, finger technique. So I would give myself some time to work on that. And if you have not already, checked out my #1 secret to easy sight reading, I have a link in the description box, and if you sign up to watch my free video for that, you will also get 6 free piano trial videos to get you started with learning piano. And that's pretty much it. I will see you in the next video.